How's everyone? It's Saturday morning. I'm a little late. I apologize. So we got about 27 minutes on the clock, thereabouts. And then I'm going out looking for beavers, maybe a fox,
Hey guys,
probably some deer. I see deer not every day, but almost every day. I could see deer every day if I was out searching specifically for deer. Um, I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best not even to search for beaver and for fox. I might see an owl too, um, because I want to, and this is important for me. I want to allow nature to present itself to me in the absence of my expectations. I want to allow life to present itself to me in the absence of my expectations. Because who knows what's in store? You know, we talk an awful lot about manifestation. We talk an awful lot about setting. For those who know, you know. Hey, Raven. And all that's possible. I'm not saying it's not good, it's not bad. It is, you know. Soul Stars is here, and Phoenix is here. All my favorite people. And Cat and Jack. Now all my people are here. Um, Thank you guys for being here. Hey, Big Al. Um, but Cat says, thank you, Yogi. Already your words are hitting home. Cat and Jack talk and I talk about this. I don't know what anything's for. Anything. And that includes, life. That includes you. All right. Maybe I'm wrong. I do know what you are for. Your purpose is to reflect the infinite lights of love, each and every one of you. And you're showing it to me. Thank you. Thank you for being here. So I don't know what anything is for. Sniper says, Grand Risings, Arcanal. Grand Risings to you, Sniper. Those are some early Course in Miracles workbook lessons. And it was about that point when I would throw the book aside and say, of course I know what something's for. But I don't. And I come more and more to that realization as life proceeds. But here's the great revelation. There's a reason why I don't know what anything is for. Anything. Because I've misused everything. I've used it for the purpose of the advancement of the ego, which means that I get more ego, which means I get more suffering in life. The entirety of Buddhism, right from the beginning. Hey, Tandra, how are you, my friend? Awesome to see Tandra. A lot of people never get past the first noble truth of Buddha. Life is suffering. Man, why do I want to dive into philosophy that's telling me what I already know? I want some good news. Hey, Tom. Tom Tufu says, Dad, I don't know. I don't know. Um, so, hey, Easy. Easy, it's been a while. How's the job? Again, I don't need to know that life is suffering, right? I don't need the Buddha to tell me that. However, the Buddha goes on and tells you why we suffer. Our misplaced faith in the ego, that we are grasping for egoic things, hoping that this is finally going to bring me happiness. What am I reading right now? I am reading, again, and always, of course, Miracles. I'm also reading, I actually finished the book by Alan Cohen called Of Course in Miracles, um, which was really good. And I got a few other things that I'm working through time to time. I need to get a good fiction book. It's been a little bit. I think I've only read one fiction book this year. Let's see. Turn NY, kindness is free, says Big Al. This is true. Um, let's see. Where were we? Buddha, suffering, clinging, attachment. You know, all that stuff. Tom Tufer says, my Oda gave me a Course in Miracles. It isn't gay. Um, that's the funniest thing I've heard in a long time. Do you mean gay as in happy? It is. It brings you really good news. It brings you another way of perceiving life. Going actually past the lens of our perception, seeing life a little clearer. Do you mean gay as in uh, gay? No, it is not. Tom says Cloud Atlas. I haven't heard of that. I'll look for it. So you recommend it as in old 90s slur? The 1890s? Um, it is not. For me, it's salvation. No, I don't mean salvation as in um, being saved from my sins, being saved from my guilt. Hey, Kayla. That means being saved in this moment, freeing myself from, man, a whole lot of mess. My life's been a mess. I don't mind saying that. It's been a glorious and fun, sometimes tragic mess, but a mess nonetheless. I just made a poem, guys. Cloud Atlas by David Mitchell. If you dig course, you dig Atlas. Thank you. Let me, I'm going to copy that so that I can put it right in my, I got Amazon up right now, and I'll put it in there right after the live stream. Thanks for that recommendation. Slimpa says, shadow work, Eric. It's all shadow work. Because we're dealing with shadows. Nothing but in this world. Here's our goal. See the light. It's funny that you say that, Sniper. In chapter 18, which I have up right now, the passing of the dream. Two worlds, section 7. Oh, I'm sorry, paragraph 7, section 9, if I have my Roman numerals correct. Yet in this cloud bank, is it easy to see a world? It is easy to see a whole world rising. This cloud bank, the shadowy substance that we view as the real world, is not the real world. It's an illusion. A lot of people have a hard time dealing with that because how can this be an illusion? It's so solid, it's so real, and it hurts so much for so many of us. Certainly hurts for me right now. And yet, look deeper. That's what the Course will ask us to do. Look deeper. Hey, Sebastian. A solid mountain range, a lake, a city all rise in your imagination, and from the clouds, the messengers of your perception, the messenger of your perception. Just because we perceive it doesn't make it real, it makes it a perception. What we know is our story. You look at a tree and you tell a story of a tree. If you're in the lumber business, the story of a tree is profit. If you're in the gathering business, as in hunter-gatherer, the story of a tree is sustenance. It's the same tree. I'm thinking it's time to, maybe on my members channel, maybe on my, maybe here, I don't know, to offer, let's do the workbook of A Course in Miracles together. If anyone is interested, starting on day 1, and let's do it together. So anyway, figures stand out and move about, actions seem real, and forms appear and shift from loveliness to the grotesque, meaning the real world from which this world has been superimposed by. It's not often I get to use the word superimpose. Sebastian says, I'm interested very much. All right, let's start today. Maybe it should be like, I don't know how it should be. Let me know how you guys want it to be. Easy says, we need to catch up again, Eric. I'll message you soon. Awesome. Looking forward to it. So again, figures stand out and move about, actions seem real, and forms appear and shift from loveliness to the grotesque. But we can shift it back. Perception. Remember, we don't see everything. We are the hero in our story. Guess what? The person that we're feuding with, the person that we're bickering with, the person that we're refusing to forgive, they are the hero in their story. And our insistence to only see our own heroic feats. You guys don't know what I'm up against. You don't know how awful this person is. You don't know what this person did to me. I have no doubt they did do something to you. But when you ask to forgive, by the way, presented, of Course in Miracles, you're saying look past the perception, look past the era, look past at your own heroic vision to that loveliness residing deep within someone else that is so hidden, so fearful of being seen, that they've covered it with this perception of, I'm going to do something to you before you do it to me, because I know you're planning it. Everyone just wants to be their own hero. Everyone's getting by. Everyone's fighting a hard battle. If you look past the level of form, you see the spark of love that is almost diminished, seemingly. It can never really be diminished. But in this life, it's flickering. Guess what your job is? Tend to it. Tend to that little flame in someone else. Because guess what? It's your flame too. You tend to their flame and yours just grows larger and larger and larger. Now we got light. Do you think saying let there be light was exclusive to that one moment in Genesis or the Big Bang? If we want to get all quantum physicky, it doesn't. It's right now. Let there be light right now. Let this moment be your personal Genesis. I ought to write that down. There's a poem there. Speaking of which, let me read what I wrote this morning. Let me dive back. Well, let me read what I wrote this morning, and then I'll dive in the chat. Guys, let me know. If you got any questions, anything you want to talk about. This is this morning. I will read it in a little short later. It's about trust. You know, A Course in Miracles in the Manual for Teachers has a whole section on trust. It is one of the characteristics of God's teachers. It sucks. It truly sucks. Developing trust means your world is unraveled. And you have to have faith in the unraveling. What's going to be there when you are completely unraveled? I don't know. I'll let you know when I find out. And now, this is what I wrote. And now, my life is based on trust. Still faulty and unsure at times, yet guided towards a sense of love and safety just the same. This feels like a pivotal place for me, that it's critical to allow my fear its presence while keeping faith central to my focus. I'm not asked to bypass tears nor loneliness, but to simply allow and allow and allow, even to the point of breaking. And with this, my trust is finally surrendered to a greater strength than mine. And I end it with how I end everything. I love you. You ever had a point in your life when you feel like absolutely breaking down in tears and at the same time just laughing? That's sort of paradoxical. That's joy, by the way. That's true happiness. Happiness is that which is underlying everything that occurs. The tears, the loneliness, the fear. Underneath it all, you start sensing that light. You start sensing that lightness of being. The joyfulness that is unwavering, even as you're breaking. All right, let's dive in. What's up there, Stuart? Fisherman's Lodge. I know I missed a bunch of stuff. I apologize, guys. Um, I was sort of just letting things wander. Hey, Long John, it's been a little bit. How are you? AMS says, calling me Yogi reminds me of Yogi Bear. Yeah, which could be worse. I could have said just a boo boo, just a boo boo doing burpees in his basement. It's a lot of bees. Maybe I should have. AMS says, are you leaving? Damn it. I'll be here for another 5 more minutes, at least. Tanya, Yogi, did you see my latest video? You may not like it. I have not, but I'm bringing you up right now. And this is going to be my morning watch, Tanja. Let me bring up videos. Is it the St. Winfried's well? Is that the one? I'm on it. I'm overdue Tundra time anyway. I mean, by that, I mean to have her Tundra up for the entirety of the day and just let it play. Not for watch hours. That's a happy side effect. But for me, for my benefit, Tundra benefits me to have her up and just play, and I can dive in anytime. And there's a few channels that are like that. Cat and Jack benefits me. Her channel, her presence. Cat benefits me. I hope I can be a benefit for you guys as well. As does Nature's Dog Realms, as does Daisy May. You guys, let me just say that. You guys, thank you. Stuart says, good morning, everyone. Stuart, when are you getting out fishing, man? I saw you tying flies. So that was nice to see. I got to know and love Stuart through his sitting at a table tying flies. That's what in my opinion, it's what he does best. Not that my opinion matters. I mean, it does, but ultimately it doesn't because it's just mine. Sebastian says, it's interesting, Yogi perception, because I've almost hidden myself here because I feel judged where I live, like everyone is better, because it's a cliquey community where I live. Can you dive deeper into that, Sebastian? You know why people are in a cliquey community? Because each and every one of them is fearful to be by themselves. So they find that sense of belonging. If you can own your own belonging, if you can be your own clique, then you won't even notice. If you're, Abraham Maslow, the psychologist who developed the hierarchy of needs that's taught in every modern psychology class, he was asked about self-actualized people, which was his term for awakening or self-realized, even enlightened. And he was asked, what is a sign of a self-actualized person? And he said a self-actualized person is independent of the good opinion of others, meaning they just don't notice. Another way of saying it from Terry Cole Whitaker, and we talk about it here all the time. This was the title of her book. What you think of me is none of my business. Sebastian, you, my friend, and indeed, you are a good, good friend. I appreciate you. I appreciate your presence. You are more than a spark of light. Man, you bring the flame. You are so kind and welcoming. And I know that you would probably say, well, if Eric only knew my issues, my trouble. It's the same with me, guys. You know, you generally see the best of me. You don't see, that I try to present my issues. I try to be upfront with everything I do to the extent that I'm able. I try to let you know problems that I have and that I am committed not to uh, fixing those problems, but by letting those problems be problems of the world, but ultimately knowing that there's a deeper world, ultimately knowing that beneath those, I could spend the rest of this lifetime trying to fix those problems and issues. Um, and guess what? That means I've sort of twittered away my precious, precious time here. Instead, ultimately, I can just surrender to love. And when I do, guess what? Those problems don't seem like problems anymore. They just seem like things that happen, you know? Arisings. How do you deal with an arising? Does a sky attack every single cloud that passes by? Does it take every storm seriously? Because they know the storm's going to pass. Ultimately, the sky is completely present to its blue skyness. You know what I mean? Here I am. That's what I wrote about this morning. Right now, it's just coming to an allowing and allowing and allowing. But trust me, I want to I want to fix everything. I want to look around my life. I want to look at certain people and say, hey, fix this, fix that about you, fix this about me. I'm a little tired of fixing things, guys. Um, but that means I'm ready to surrender. I'm ready to trust. Finally, finally, finally. And even in the trusting, there's a lot of fear. But hey, I got you guys. And you got me. Lots of books. Yeah, it is a lot of books. What's up there, Jace? That's nice to see you. I was hoping to see you this morning. Jace has got a big weekend ahead. Lots of fun doing Jace stuff. It's a full-time job. It's a full-time job being Jace. I wouldn't want that job. Not because it wouldn't be cool to be Jace, but man, I don't know I'm up for the task. I don't think I could do it. Now, 10 years ago, when I was a young man of 50, then yes, I could have been a super Jace. So I apologize. I missed some comments, guys. I'm just, man, I'm meandering about in this conversation. In 4 minutes, I'm going to go out and watch me some beavers. Maybe. Maybe not. Let's see. Aquaberry Backfist is a perfectly awesome channel name. Are you chill? I don't know. Yogi, been listening to Boston More Than a Feeling? I haven't heard that song for a while. I don't really listen to classic rock radio. Um, they do go to Pandora, but Pandora, I have three things that play mostly. I have jazz, I have classical music, and I have um, old time country-ish, sort of. It's called Americana, sort of. It'll play everything from John Prine, who I love, to um, the original Hank Williams. So here's for my country loving fans. Who's the king of country? George Jones, George Strait. Pick your George. Maybe that'll be a poll next live stream. Pick your George. Pick your flavor of George. Do you take music requests? As long as it's hummable. If you don't mind me hearing me hum. Emma says we should rather focus on our de-rising because it's only guaranteed we've got in life. There's no guarantee we'll rise again. No negativity. I know. Didn't take that as negative at all, my friend. Aquaberry says all countries best. Agreed. 100%. Here's my issue with new country music is it's less country than it used to be. Um, the actual genre should be country pop. And country pop is awesome if you like country pop, but sometimes, we want things in their essence. It's weird because I do like old time country rock. Poco, Pure Prairie League. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Do you guys remember those bands? Pure Prairie League, Amy. What a wonderful song. Poco. Tonight we're gonna break away. Crazy Love. That's the name of the song. Let's see. Soulstar Sissy says, AM, you're onto something. Tomorrow is never guaranteed. I'm grateful for each rising and each breath. Yes. Man, live your life with that sense of gratefulness, even as it wavers, even as we forget it. Bring it back to gratefulness. Even when you're arguing with someone. Let's see. So it says, Kim Country is either Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, the original Hank, Woody Guthrie, Don Williams. I like Don Williams. Woody Guthrie, I love Woody Guthrie, but I'd put him in the category of folk. I love Woody Guthrie's guitar. He has a sticker on his, had a sticker on his. I met his son, by the way, Arlo Guthrie, several times. I have a photo floating around somewhere in the ethers of me and Arlo Guthrie standing next to each other, and he's wearing bowling shoes with palm trees on him. Oh, his guitar has a sticker that says, "This machine kills fastest." And of course, gotta love, man, I love Willie. Willie Nelson is a national treasure. Johnny Cash was awesome. But, man, you got to go with one of the Georges. George Jones. So it says, anyone want to add to my list? Merle Haggard. Of course, some people might just say, Merle Haggard, he was just an Okie from Muskogee. That's a Merle Haggard reference, by the way, in case you didn't know. Hey, William. Nice to see you, my friend. Catches by all I meant. Yeah, y'all. Have a fantastic magical walk, Yogi. Thank you, Kat. Kat, sometimes I feel like I'm walking with you. You know that? I see something fantastic, and I think, man, Kat would love that. What do I think of Southern rock? I like Southern rock. I grew up with Southern rock. Leonard Skinner, Molly Hatchet. So it says Richie Rich, the comic, Glenn Campbell. I like Glenn Campbell. Masterful guitarist. Do you guys like the Beach Boys? Do you know if you listen to the albums, you're actually listening to Glenn Campbell on guitar? The Wrecking Crew was the name of that backing band, and they did so much through the 60s, even early 70s. They were the studio band that did the sounds of so many great 60s bands who were capable musicians, but they weren't at the level musically needed. Like the Beach Boys really were the great harmonies, but really they were Brian. Why can't I remember his last name? You guys know. I like Kenny Rogers. Solstar says, I enjoy Southern rock, and I aim to make that genre more relevant again. And you are off to a great start, my friend. You're also making jazz great again. In my opinion, you are a jazz vocalist, not in the sense of like singing jazz standards, but you bring in that spoken word poetry back. Um, without even You're the Neil Cassidy of YouTube. You guys familiar with Neil Cassidy? Not to name drop again, not to show you how in the know I am with people. The last person to ever see Neil Cassidy alive was George Walker. Neil Cassidy died on the railroad tracks, overdosed, heart failure, really, um, on a bank of a Mexican river. What a hard life. What a remarkable man. Anyway, George Walker. He's a Facebook friend. As is Ken Babbs, one of the original Merry Pranksters. If you guys know your Merry Pranksters. Stuart says, Willie Nelson and Keith Richards will outlive most of us. I hope so. Uh, my thought, William, is to let go of all such thoughts. To let go of all such thoughts. Course in Miracles calls it a hierarchy of illusions. That all things are possible within the illusion, but why keep living versions of the illusion over and over again? Let them go. Ultimately, you're going to end up in the same spot as all of us, which is the revelatory nature of love. So why not just get there? Why not just bypass everything? Practice of life of kindness and forgiveness, and ultimately surrendering to the presence of love. Don't chase after every little shiny thing. And a shiny thing are those teachings that distract us. It's all tricks of the ego. You're at the precipice, and the precipice says, leap into the arms of love. Leap into the arms of God. Know yourself as a faith, face, and version of Christ here now, and let go of the shiny things. Let go of reincarnation and rebirth. Let go of conspiracy theories. Let go of anything that distracts you from knowing yourself as the ultimate source of love. And live your life as that. That's going to end it for me, guys. Sorry. You never have to keep anything to yourself. That's what we're here for. So it says, I think Yogi loves Mexican music. We need to buy him. I have a sombrero. I posted the photo of me in my sombrero. I actually don't have it any longer. I don't know what happened to it. How do you misplace? What happens to sombreros? There's no way possible that I could misplace a sombrero, right? I didn't give it away. I didn't sell it. I don't have, a sombrero giveaway. What happened in my sombrero, guys? That question is going to be on my mind all day now. Thank you for that, Stuart. Now you've got me pondering the Jimmy Buffett was out looking for his lost shaker of salt. I'm going to spend my day looking for my lost sombrero. And I'm going to say sombrero so often now, the word's going to lose all meaning. All right. Nicely said, Jace. The light of love is best observed with closed eyes. So you see reality, guys. Keeps you from getting lost in the illusion. Solster says it's the least likely place you would find it. This is true. And then, of course, if I go directly to that least likely place, it's the most likely place, and I won't find my sombrero. Solster has just then Cohen me. For the next live stream, looking for my lost sombrero in the least likely place, I'm going to be enlightened by the next live stream. Stay tuned. I'm on I'm on my quest. Guys, thank you. This has been a thoroughly confusing live stream for me. And the most... Hey, Banana. in a most joyful way. Agape, omni love, and to you as well, my friend. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to see everyone later.